You know, you know. Meanwhile, this upstart kid, he listened to you, and then my favorite one, everyone is lawyer, doctor, real estate, but he's not even good at being a lawyer, but he's killing it on Facebook and he's hurting my business. What do I do now? And I smile. I smile the same way that I saw some of the kids on the field yesterday that didn't go with Vayner Sports, that we know we were in the final two with them and they went in a different direction. I see them, I root for them. I'm a kind person, my mom did a good job. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say when I look at their faces, I smile, knowing they made the wrong decision. Because I love merit. I love sports. You either make the right move or you don't. I've already won by articulating my thoughts here today. Either you're going to actually use this talk as the final piece to actually get out there and finally do this, because you could not be in this room and not know what I'm saying is actually right. Or you're not, and then you lose, and then I get to see you, because they're both good. I did it or I didn't do it. I both enjoy because I actually love the merit of the game. I mean that. So, I hope you do it. I don't need you to do it. As a matter of fact, I'll get really technical on you. A lot of my smartest friends always ask me why I do this, because if these people start making content and start running ads, it's going to be harder for you to build what you're building, Gary. And they're right. The feed of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's just one feed. It's just supply and demand. If all of you start posting, that's just more content, less attention, less opportunity for me to build what I'm building. That's where it's going. So I hope I've articulated the punchline. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing Q&A now, but to be very frank, I gave Maggie the no cursing. I'm taking the Q&A, so I'm going to take some of your questions right now. Because, to be frank, I think I've articulated my point, and it is the point. If you do any, I was a terrible student, but there was one class I was decent at. It was called history, and I finally figured out why. I like history because I know that things repeat themselves and humans are consistent, and I like context. If you listen to my talk right now and immediately ran home and read a book or articles about the transition of America from the radio to the television, everything I just said would make sense to you. My friends, we have transitioned from the newspaper and television to the internet. It's happened. It's not going back. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It has happened. It's never going back. This is why the mainstream media will always be wrong about their predictions, because they look at the wrong data. They will always be wrong. Watch it again. They'll always be wrong. It's why big companies, why my company's exploding, because they work with other agencies from like the Mad Men era. They're always wrong. It's based on subjectivity, politics, ego. We're here. I want you to take advantage of it, because if you don't, somebody else will. There's 330 million of us out there in this country, 7.7 billion. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here. What's your name? Brent? Nice to meet you.
So runs a company, and we of course have their own social media platforms, accounts.
The company. So personal.
For their business, how do you divide them kind of content and cross-pollinate there?
Yes. Brent, I think you do both, right? Like I do. I'm Gary V, but my family wine business, Wine Library, has an account. Empathy Wines, my direct-to-consumer wine brand, has an account. VaynerMedia has an account. We cross-pollinate. Obviously, if you're a big personality, and big comes in a lot of senses. If you're, let me phrase, I'm not going to use big. If you're a personality that brings value in whatever shape or form, you're going to see more following people like to follow people over businesses. But it's all about value exchange. But yeah, you'll appreciate this, but there is no right or wrong. Really, there's not. I would say the only thing that you can do wrong is not being yourself. I see a lot of people scared to actually be themselves because they're scared who's watching. And I hate looking at all your LinkedIn accounts. You've got like a suit and tie, looking all professional. Like you think something bad's gonna happen if you're normal. I look like a mess up here. I'm wearing a Tierra Whack sweatshirt. Like the results always win. And I think a lot of people hold back their natural self. The market doesn't care in the end. Somebody may judge you, but the market doesn't care. Yes, sir. What's your name? Tucker.
So I started a podcast called Behind the Grind Show.
Okay.
On Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere you listen to podcasts. I started in
Thanks for the commercial. Next. Okay.
and we've had a decent amount of growth in a short period of time.
That's awesome.
And then all because of you.
All because of you. You executed.
We just recently got reached out by a couple of people that are willing to become sponsors or have their bosses that are entrepreneurs on. So my first question is, when is the right time to start
To monetize?
And then second, we just got reached out to potentially do like a live audience podcast.
Yep.
There's people in Pensacola, Florida, student community institute. They reached out to us about potentially brainstorming on that idea. So with that, we really directed the podcast.
Everything you said is yes and no, and it's important for you at this young age to understand that. High level of successes or different levels of experience, the punchline is it may be yes or no. The key is to not do something that you're so locked in that once you taste it and you realize it's no, then you can't get out. The wrong thing to do with whoever you just talked to in Pensacola is to sign a 2-year deal to do it live there, and after the second one, you're like, this sucks, I don't want to do this. So you keep flexibility. The audience won't be mad at you for monetizing, they'll be mad at you for selling out. And that's a very big difference. But I think, but it's so exciting, right? Because I go through this spiel. How long have you been doing it? You mean 4 minutes? If I'm correct, with October and you factor in Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're talking about 9 seconds. Right. It's important for you to see. Now, for them to get that level of reach out, they just might be good. Like, there is a variable in everything I just said. You may love talking about basketball. You might just be boring. So you've got to be self-aware about it. But my big thing is, you may be boring, but it makes you so happy. Like, my big thing is,